Hey guys, if you're using the default crosshair in Marvel Rivals, there are way better options. In this video, I'll show you the best crosshairs to use that are going to help you land your shots way more consistently and basically take your game to the next level. First up, we have the Magick crosshair. Now this one is genius and it's perfect if you play Magick. It's made by Reddit user Veil Atir, who says, I made a reticule for Magick that makes the left crosshair bar perfectly reflect where the dash will hit at nearly every distance. And it works. This one is really good. So how it works is when you dash, take a look at the horizontal line of the crosshair to the left of center. If this horizontal line is over your target, you will land the dash. Although make sure to always dash on the right of your target. If you dash to the left, you won't land it. This is just due to the way the game works, due to the way the third-person camera sits off the center of your character's shoulder, but aim to the right of your target and you've got a lot more room to hit. That's what makes this reticule a genius. Like, it's so specific and it only really benefits this one character, but it benefits them insanely well and makes you land the dash every time. It's not a rangefinder, so it doesn't tell you how near to an enemy you have to be to land the dash, but it's more of how near the enemy has to be to the horizontal line of your crosshair. And if you want to add this crosshair to your game, it's really easy. If you're playing on PC, just copy and paste the codes from the description into your game. To do that, go to keyboard, go down to reticule, save, and in here you can import the code from the description. So just copy and paste it in there. If you're on console, you just have to type in the values manually. So I'll leave this screen up for a few seconds so you can copy down the values and then you can basically copy this template and put it in your game. Next up, this crosshair, which is, in my opinion, the best all-rounder, and this works with pretty much any character in the game. So if you don't know which crosshair to pick, then go for this one. Just jump straight in. There is no barrier to entry with this one. It's basically a blue crosshair. I'm far from a pro and I'm loving this crosshair as a sort of beginner crosshair, and I'll show you exactly how to change your crosshair to get this one. It's got great tracking, so if you need your reticule to track targets, and that's what it's there for, you can't really get better than this one as a general option. There's a few reasons for that. For starters, the colour makes it really pop against the background, so it stands out in the chaos of matches. It's also really simple too, so it doesn't dominate the screen or clutter it up. The crosshair is really versatile, so you can use this across the board on any character, whether that character is hit scan, melee, etc. But if you main a specific hero, keep watching because I will give you specific crosshairs to use for individual heroes as well. I'll leave this screen up for a few seconds so you can copy down the values. Next up, we have the dot. Now, this dot works really well for hit scan heroes, so Luna, Starlord, Punisher, Adam Warlock, etc. If you watch most pro players who are using a hit scan character, they will tend to use this dot, and that's for a good reason. It's the simplest crosshair you can use, which is so it basically obscures all of the action the least. So for example, Luna's light and dark ice shots are better at damaging enemies or healing allies with this crosshair because you can line everyone up much better. Starlord has his elemental guns, which work really well as well. And if you didn't know what a hit scan character is, by the way, it refers to a weapon that does damage instantly when you line up your crosshair and pull the trigger. So there's no actual projectile modeled in the game for these heroes, these specific weapons anyway, and no time it takes for the projectile to reach the target. When you click the trigger, the damage happens instantly. Another hit scan character you'll want to use the dot with is Punisher with his adjudication rifle. This is effective in both medium and close ranges, and also the Deliverance shotgun. However, his turret ability is not a hit scan, as the projectiles take a while to reach their target. The dot crosshair is also great for Psylocke with her psionic crossbows and her winged shurikens, and you will want to play an aggressive playstyle to get the most out of Psylocke, of course. Hela is really good with her thorns, which can deal insane damage to enemies, and you can basically two-shot some of the more squishy characters in the game with these headshots. Adam Warlock, of course, another hit scan character, and Black Widow as well. So yeah, use these with this crosshair. Although I have to say, not a lot of people are not using Black Widow right now. I've seen, because the damage output is kind of low compared to the skill and the effort you need to put into her toolkit as a sniper specialist. But if you are playing as Adam or Widow or anyone else that I've just mentioned, this dot crosshair is the way to go. And here's the template. If your hero does splash damage, then you want this crosshair. So those heroes are Groot, Squirrel Girl, anyone with splash damage, Iron Man. Also, tanky characters work well with this, so Hulk and Venom. And this is a large crosshair with a center gap. And the way it works is you just want to get the target's body in the crosshairs. You don't need to be precise and line up the head, because your hero is able to do group damage with area of effect attacks. Like Iron Man isn't going to land headshots from 50 feet in the air, so a dot reticule wouldn't really be that much of a point. You don't really put the dot over it. You don't have to be that precise. Of course, headshots aren't out of the question. It's just a lot of these characters, they don't get any extra damage from landing headshots. If you are trying to go for the head though, just make sure the entire head is in the middle of the crosshair, as opposed to trying to get that dot over the head. So, for example, Groot doesn't get damage from headshots, although Venom does get extra damage from headshots. So yeah, it really depends character by character basis. But as I mentioned, this is the ideal crosshair for Groot, for Squirrel Girl, Iron Man, those sorts of heroes. And here is the template for that. Onto the circle crosshair now, and this is amazing if you like to play as an assassin. So Panther and Iron Fist are two specifically that this works great with. If you're darting behind enemy lines, flanking enemies and taking them out one-on-one, it's really good. It also works really good with Magick, but I've already shown you a superior one for Magick. But if you want a more traditional one that works for her combos, check out this circle crosshair. The reason it's circle is because these are melee focused heroes, so you don't really need as tight a crosshair. It can be more general, and for that, this crosshair is the best one. So just get that reticule over the enemy, dive in and hit them every time. As for the template, check out the description and copy and paste that, or copy the following into your console settings. The cross with the dot is another good crosshair. It's like the cross, but with one difference. It has a dot, yes. The reason for this is the dot is going to help you land those headshots. So again, this works with any character in the game, and it's a nice entry-level, versatile crosshair that doesn't really try and do anything different or anything special. The downside of this dot is that some people are finding is that the dot obscures their view. So it really is down to a personal preference between a cross with or without a dot. Personally, I like no dot because I feel like I can see more of the screen, and I don't find the dot makes me any more precise. Like if I've already got their head in the center of the reticule, it's a headshot. But I know people who do prefer the dot. So everyone's different, everyone has their own preference. Check out both and let me know what's working for you. The template for that is in the description, and also it's here if you are on the console. And here's a crosshair that's one of the most popular with rival streamers, and that is the red crosshair. I've seen players like ML7 use this, Necro as well, and these are pro players, so hey, it must be pretty decent. Now, the heroes that I see them use this crosshair with are support heroes. So ML7 in particular, he uses it with Loki, Storm, Luna, Adam, and Rocket. So if you're in the mood to give support to teammates, I recommend copying what works for the pros and using this smaller cross-shaped crosshair. ML7 uses a red one. I've seen some pros use green, so the colour doesn't really appear to matter. But if you want this exact crosshair, copy and paste the code in the description. If you're on console, here are the values, so copy these over to your console. Anyway, those were some of the best crosshairs I've seen in Marvel Rivals, but what about you? Are you different? Let me know what sort of crosshairs you're using in this game, and also how you're getting on with those crosshairs. Thanks so much for watching. If you want some more Marvel Rivals guides regularly, then subscribe to the channel, and if you enjoyed this video, give it a little thumbs up. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.
You never had it. Here they are, the fools.